Hello everyone, this is Political Chit Chat and I'm your host Gonzalo Duran. I look forward to talking to you about local and global politics with local politicians, activists, and community leaders. Check us out on Manhattan Neighborhood Network on Tuesdays at 8:30 on the community channels. If you'd like to be a guest, feel free to email me at gonzalodurannyc@gmail.com. If you'd like to get to know me better, feel free to check out my social media at Gonzalo Duran NYC. Until then, and as always, God bless you and God bless America. Hello everyone, this is Political Chit Chat and I'm your host Gonzalo Duran. Today's honored guest is Jason Murillo. He's running for City Council District 2 in Manhattan. Jason, thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Gonzalo. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Not as well as other people. Today is very cold out there in the city, so we gotta start thinking, hey, how can we help the people when this type of weather's going on?
Exactly.
That's what pops up in my head. I know you've been very active in the community over the last, decades. How about you tell the people what you've done for the community?
Well, I've done a lot over the past decades and several years. I've increased those efforts from holiday toy and clothing drives. I just did a big one this past December, right before the holidays in the East Village at Palagua Art Space. That's on Avenue C and East Village. So I just did that with many people collaborating. Even you helped out with donations as well. I did it with Veronica Gonzalez, with Angela Aquino, with many people from our community. And, we all stepped in and helped out and did our part to give back to those in need because they're often neglected, so it's good to help out my community, my neighbors, and my friends. Also, in the summertime, I do barbecues, cookouts. Right before when school starts, we do our school drive, back to school drive with book bags, school supplies, other essentials they need so they could have, everything they need, for the upcoming school year. So year round I do different things with that. I also help you out with veterans and families, among other things, so it's just about giving back to our community, stepping up and, representing them and doing what we can, whether we have $1 or $1 million, we all could pitch in and do our part, to give back.
Perfect. Now, for the audience that may not know, could you give a little bit about your background? Just a little.
Well, I've been a community media producer on television and radio for the past 25 years. This is my 30th year being on community media television, and next year in 26 will be my 25th anniversary of being a independent community media television producer here at Manhattan Neighborhood Network.
And where are you from?
Originally from Brooklyn, New York, Ocean Avenue, Midwood. I'm originally from there, Brooklyn boy, born and partially raised there. And then unfortunately, I went through the situation with domestic violence from my father. So I went through the shelter system. I was homeless for a couple years. And then I finally, bounced around the city with me and my mother. And then finally in 1990, we moved to the Lower East Side East Village, and we stood at a temporary housing that they have there in Baruch. It was called the Castle. It probably still is. But I was at the shelter, the transitional housing they had there for a couple years. And then in 1992, I wound up relocating with my mother and finally got permanent housing at, in the NYCHA Jacob Riis. Since I've been there since 1992.
All right, so over 20 years and stable over there.
30 years, over 30 years.
Over 30 years, okay.
Yeah.
So now,
35, yeah.
So now this is your first run for elected office.
Yeah.
But you have been in politics for a while.
Yeah, I've been behind the scenes, helping different parties and different candidates. I've been helping you out for the past couple of years in your city council and congressional runs. I've also been helping out other candidates as well. I'm working with a beautiful woman who's a fighter for the community, for the city, for many immigrants and migrants. Angela Aquino, she's running for public advocate, for this year. So I'm helping her out with her campaign as well while I'm running my own campaign, So yeah.
Now, you're doing all this as, let's say, a leader for the Manhattan.
Yeah, I represent, you could say I could represent the Conservative Party interests in Manhattan, definitely in the Lower East Side, East Village.
Okay. That's good. I mean,
I stepped up over the past, few years, and this past year alone, I registered over 100 plus. I increased the voter registration numbers by over 100% in the past, year or so.
okay, good. I mean, there's always, the change for dynamics for conservatism has just changed in the last, let's say, in the last year, especially with somebody coming into office, So we expect some changes with that.
And I also registered I switched to Democrats, not only former Democrat voters, not only from conservative, but to Republican as well. And I was one of the people locally in my neighborhood to lead the charge to get people to switch to Republican and to vote for President Trump. And in my neighborhood alone, 1 in 4 voted for Trump. So Trump got 25% of the vote locally in the East Village, Alphabet City.
In that area, what would you what was the
Which
way,
is predominantly Democrat all the way.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to go at. With that section
Hardcore.
being so Democratic,
Yeah.
how did you get them to? What words did you use? Did you? Did you bribe them? What would you do to get them to transfer?
No,
over?
not at all.
You know.
Actually, the Democrats did a bang-up job. I didn't have to say much of anything. The crime alone that's going on in the city, the lack of resources, everything's being defunded. Schools are defunded. Community centers. It was an easy choice for them. They said F this. They said F Kamala, Biden, and they voted for Trump.
Well, one of the highlights that I've seen recently is that I'm trying to pick on anybody particular, but if you look at, let's say, AOC district, right?
Yeah.
Now, she easily won, right?
Yeah.
Not only did she easily won, but if you look at who they voted for on a buffer for the presidential race, in her district, Trump won the votes over there while she won her congressional race, right? Now, those are two sides of the spectrums. If you're voting for, AOC, you don't see yourself really voting for Trump but in the end of the day, everything that you hit, the crime and all things that were going on in these neighborhoods, people are changing their minds.
Yeah, and that's what we want people to do. Let them know there's an alternative. You don't have to keep voting Democrat the rest of your life. If you don't like the way things are, then vote for either a Republican or a third-party candidate, such as myself, you, someone else. That's why the Conservative Party is around. So we give you guys a third choice, a third option if you're not happy one way or another.
And just for transparency purposes, this is a bipartisan show. Nobody's asking you to directly, but
Yeah,
those
exactly.
are your options. So
No, definitely. Overall, we can't have a one-party rule. We have seen what is done to this country, and we've seen specifically, even more so, what has been done in New York City and New York State with a one-party rule. It has decimated our economy. It has destroyed our environmental system with them tearing down, raising parks, such as where I live, right outside my window, the East River Park has been decimated, it's been razed. They just cut the trees down. This has been going on, and they're trying to do this in parks all over the city. But more so with the invasion of the illegal migrants and then giving them billions and billions and billions of dollars while we got homeless New Yorkers. We got homeless vets. You were a former homeless vet. I was homeless as a child and as a teenager. So what is going on here? We need common sense back in City Hall and into Albany. And, it's going to take people like us and others to step up and say no mas and no effing way, no more, and to step up and, run for office.
Well, you sound pretty hard to the right when you're saying some of these things. Do you see that as hurting you or your campaign when you're out there
No,
in such a democratic
no,
location?
because I'm not going to change my principles, whether I win or lose. I'm expected to lose this race, but it doesn't matter. Just by me making the ballot, being on the ballot, I already won. Just by me being a presence, that is already a victory for me. And I represent tens of thousands of people, regardless of political affiliation, that are disenfranchised, been discriminated against, been looked down, been held back. And those are the people that I'm representing and fighting for, whether I win or lose. As long as our voices are heard and I make the ballot and there's a platform, for me to be on and for all of us to be equally represented.
That's one of the things that I look towards telling people when I say, look, in civic engagement is really one of the biggest things I try to focus on in the community level. And it's, look, if you're complaining about the way things are, but you're not doing anything, you're not contributing, you're not volunteering, and you're not running, then you're part of the problem. You're a big part of the problem. And in a lot of locations,
Put up or shut up.
Yeah. In the Bronx, the political climate has changed over there a lot in the last 2 years, whereas they used to have elections with the majority of no competition for people. So, there's, in some locations, some politicians win with no competition. They walk into races, and then in other locations, they're winning with like 3,000 or 4,000 votes. It's crazy. Like these individuals are winning these positions with like $150,000 plus jobs, benefits, all these other things that come with being a politician and making changes in your daily community because nobody had any the guff to fight them back like some people here,
Definitely, that's what it's about. It's about even the playing field. And this year, the likes of Harvey Epstein, even Anthony Weiner trying to make a political comeback, any of them, doesn't matter. They think that because, the normal saying, whoever wins the primary on the Democrat side is the incumbent.
It's pretty much going to be the winner.
Well, I'm sorry to burst your effing bubble. I'm here now, and I ain't going nowhere. And you're going to have to fight for every single vote all the way to 9 p.m. on Election Day, because I will be out there all the way to Election Day to 9 p.m. getting voters to vote for me.
All right, well, I mean, obviously the passion's there, but let's talk about some of your platforms so that people know, what your the changes and the things that you're trying to do.
Obviously, first and foremost is public safety. What's going on in the city is outrageous. Just coming here today, a person was shoved at the subway station, and then yesterday morning at around 11 a.m., a person got stabbed multiple times on a 5 train going uptown.
And that's the one I use.
And I use that as well. I took the 5 train to go to the Bronx actually just a couple of days ago. So, yeah. So, obviously we need to refund, not defund, like our Democratic friends, they want to defund everything. Let's defund the police. Let's defund schools. Let's defund hospitals. Let's refund, okay? Like we're going to give out refunds to everybody. We're going to refund the NYPD. How about that? Let's not only hire thousands of more cops, let's give them raises. The sergeants union is still without a new contract, and it's been a couple of years. It's been a couple of years, and the union for the sergeants of the NYPD who put their lives on the line every single day to protect us, okay? They're still without a contract, but we got billions of dollars to give away to anything and everything disgracefully, you know, so including to illegal migrants, before New Yorkers and before our police officers. So let's refund the NYPD, okay, to increase their presence in the streets and in the subways, okay? We need to restore law and order and ensure safety for our residents at all times. Recently, this is in my neighborhood. So a repeat offender, sexual, pretty much a sex offender, a rapist, was busted by a judge. This is in the New York Post just a few days ago. Okay, in my neighborhood, in my projects, Jacob Reese and Lillian Ward houses, right in the East Village, Alphabet City. Okay, so this fine person here is the judge that let this individual free. He got arrested for assaulting a few people in my development. He got arrested and he was released by this good-looking judge here, and then with not even 30 minutes, he sexually assaulted 3 women, including a 14-year-old girl. And this is the judge who was backed by Harvey Epstein, the New York State Assemblyman. He was backed, endorsed by him, and Harvey campaigned to get him on the ballot to be judge in New York City.
Well, let's focus back on
Judge Rosendahl.
Yeah, let's focus back on your platforms. Obviously, safety is a big issue. What's another one?
Yeah, I got a lot more. The next one, obviously, is housing. And obviously, NYCHA, they say charity begins at home. So NYCHA is in deep crisis right now. NYCHA's in the hole about, some analysts say they need 40 or 80 billion dollars would it be in repairs. So NYCHA has been decimated, defunded by the city and state for many years, and their solution is to sell off NYCHA developments and privatize them, which does not benefit the most residents. Yeah, I mean, if you could afford maybe $5,000-$10,000 a month rent, it'll definitely benefit you. But if you're a struggling, hardworking mother who has 2-3 jobs, if you're
okay, well, we got it. What would be your solution, though?
We need to refund NYCHA. The city and state has to step up, as well as the federal government. We need to keep NYCHA public. I'm against the privatization because there's been a recent report, audit was done against PAC and RAD. That's the 2 predominant corporations that has deals with the city of New York. And there's been an audit recently that they have a 500% eviction rate within 1 year after taking over a hypothetical development. The audit was done, a study was done on that, and they have a 500% eviction rate 1 year.
Okay, yeah, we got that.
Yeah,
okay.
and that is unacceptable. Because once a building goes from federally protected, that's the thing between Section 9 and Section 8. You familiar with that?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So Section 9, you have full protection, federal protection status against wrongful eviction, for fixed income, if you're a low-income family or, whatever that situation may be. But once it gets switched over to privatization, private ownership, or it becomes Section 8, you lose your federal protected rights, and you could be evicted with or without cause at any time. And then it's not rent controlled. That's the situation as well. They want to eliminate public housing and make it private, so there's no more rent control, and then they could jack up the rent anytime they want to whatever amount.
And what's another?
So, fiscal responsibility. This city and state has wasted billions and billions and billions of dollars. And where's the money going? Carlina Rivera, the current councilwoman, who I'm hoping to replace this November in District 2.
Well, she's term out, right?
Yeah, she's termed out.
So you don't have to worry about her.
Yeah, I know.
You have to worry
but
about your competition.
I know.
And there's a lot of competition.
Yeah, there is.
Who's your competition?
But what I'm trying to say is that she had a budget of appropriations. She was part of a committee that she had a budget of $1 billion. $1 billion with a B. That's what I was told. Where did that money go? If she had access with a committee of hundreds of millions of dollars, where has that money gone? Because I definitely don't see it in my community, because at least one storefront on half the blocks in my neighborhood in the East Village, Alphabet City, is gated, is closed. It's for sale sign. Even churches are for sale. We lost our boys club, that Boys and Girls Club Community Center that we had for a long time on Avenue A and 10th Street. We also lost it in Pitt Street. Like, where do kids go after school? Where do they go? And where did all that money go? So once I'm elected as your city councilman, I'm going to do a full investigation on the previous administration, my predecessor, and do an audit of those funds and find out where did all that money go. That's why they don't want me to be elected as city council, because I'm going to be holding people accountable, and we're going to do an audit and find out where all that money has gone.
Well, so we just talked about your platforms and what.
And you want to know about my opponents?
Well, we just finished with your platforms, and
Yeah.
we just talked about what you plan to do if you are elected, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about your campaign. Where are you at with your campaign?
It's going good. I got locally almost 300 registered conservative voters. They're actively engaged. They're ready. Many of them are going to be volunteering with me, going door to door, giving out my pamphlets, my flyers. They're energized. They're ready.
For those that don't understand, right now
Yeah.
we are preparing for
Petition,
petitionings for people to get on the ballot. Now, whether you are a Democrat, Republican, Conservative, Family Working Party, or if you're going to be running on an independent platform.
About one of my opponents, recently I sat down, a very spirited conversation about our community, past, present, and future, with Ali Ryan, who's one of the contenders on the Democratic side, and she's a friend of mine, and in my neighborhood, part of our community, and we sat down for a couple of hours, and had a very spirited conversation about our neighborhood and where we like to see it go in the future, and we spoke to a couple of local residents as well. So I have an open invitation to anyone out there, Democrat, Conservative, Republican, even my opponents, to have an open dialogue, to sit down with me. We can have breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you want, and an open dialogue. What I'm trying to say is that I am opening up, I'm doing something unconventional. I'm unifying people from the Conservative Party, Republican, and even common sense Democrats that are not socialists, that are not that, crazy, to come sit down at the table here. Is an open seat, open platform for all.
Have you seen them being favorable towards you at all?
Some have. Obviously I got resistance from some people. Obviously I invited Harvey Epstein to come have lunch with me, and Andrea Gordillo. I invited them to have lunch with me, and they didn't accept, but it's okay. Keep it moving. But I'm trying to show that I have what it takes to be a elected official, because obviously once you're in office, you have to work with constituents on both sides of the aisle. So I've already been doing that. I have a proven track record of working with Democrats, working with Republicans, working with conservatives, and even independent, elected officials as well. I've been working with chairmans, county committees, the whole thing, So I already have a proven track record of being a unifier, as George W. Bush would say, President Bush, a unifier, not a divider, So what more can I say,
Well, one thing you could tell the people is how they can reach out to you.
Oh, thank you, definitely. You can reach out to me, my campaign website, that is Jason Murillo for NYC.com. That's Jason, Murillo for NYC.com, or DJ Loudmouth for NYC.com. My email is jasonmurillo4, F-O-R, NYC@gmail.com. I'm on social media, I'm everywhere. I'm kind of known, So my Instagram, of course, DJ Loudmouth Official, or Jason Murillo for NYC. Twitter, Jason Murillo NY. Facebook, Jason Murillo, DJ Loudmouth. So yeah, I'm not a hard person to find. So, and the office still stands. Anyone out there, my opponents, you want to get a slice of pizza, you want to go to a ball game, whatever, I'm here.
Well, thank you, Jason.
Just like I've been here for my neighborhood and community, and will continue being here.
Well, thank you, Jason, for being a guest. If you'd like to be a guest on Political Chit Chat, please feel free to reach out at Gonzalo Duran, NYC@gmail.com. Until then, as always, God bless America.
God bless America.
Hello, everyone. This is Political Chit Chat, and I'm your host, Gonzalo Duran. I look forward to talking to you about local and global politics with local politicians, activists, and community leaders. Check us out on Manhattan Neighborhood Network on Tuesdays at 8:30 on the community channels. If you'd like to be a guest, feel free to email me at gonzaloduran@nyc@gmail.com. If you'd like to get to know me better, feel free to check out my social media at Gonzalo Duran NYC. Until then, and as always, God bless you and God bless America.